Chapter 12. A Lesson in Immortality. Matilda O'Donnell Macquarie personal note. I think the following transcript is pretty much self-explanatory. Official transcript of interview top secret. Official transcript of the US Army, Air Force, Roswell Army, Airfield, 509 Bob Group, subject at an interview 37 1947, first session. Immortal spiritual beings, which are referred to as Isbis, for the sake of convenience, are the source and creators of illusions, each one individually and collectively, in the original, unfettered state of being, are an eternal, all-powerful, all-knowing entity. Isbis create space by imagining a location, the intervening distance between themselves and the imagined location is what we call space. An SBs can perceive the space and objects created by other SBs. SBs are no physical universe entities. They are a source of energy and illusion. SBs are not located in space or time, but can create space, place particles in space, create energy, and shape particles into various forms, cut the motions of forms, and animate forms. Any form that is animated by an NSB is called life. NSB can decide to agree that they are located in space or time and that they themselves are an object or any other manner of illusion created by themselves or another or other SBs. The disadvantage of creating an illusion is that an illusion must be continually created. If not continually created, it disappears. Continual creation of an illusion requires incessant attention to every detail of the illusion in order to sustain it. A common denominator of SBs seems to be the desire to avoid burden. A spirit only without interaction with other SBs and the unpredictable motion, drama, and unanticipated intentions and illusions being created by other SBs is easily bored. What if you could imagine anything, perceive everything, and cause anything to happen at will? What if you couldn't do anything else? What if you always knew the outcome is where you came and the answer to every question? But you get bored. The entire back-time track of space is immeasurable, nearly infinite in terms of physical universe time. There is no measurable beginning or end for an SB. They simply exist in an everlasting now. Another common denominator of SBs is that admiration of one's own illusions by others is very desirable. If the desired admiration is not forthcoming, the SB will keep create the illusion in an attempt to get admiration. One could say that the entire physical universe is made of unadmired illusions. The origins of this universe began with the creation of individual illusionary spaces. This were the home of the SB. Sometimes a universe is a collaborative creation of illusions by two or more SBs. A proliferation of SBs and the universes they create sometimes collide or become commingled or merged to an extent that many SBs share in the co-creation of a universe. SBs diminish their ability in order to have a game to play. SBs think that any game is better than no game. They will endure pain, suffering, stupidity, privation, and all manner of necessary and undesirable conditions just to play a game, pretending that one does not know all, see all, and calls all, is a way to create the conditions necessary for playing a game. Unknowns, freedoms, barriers and or opponents and goals. Ultimately, playing a game solves the problem of boredom. In this fashion, all of the space, galaxies, suns, planets, and physical phenomena of this universe, including life forms, places, and events that have been created by space, and sustained by mutual agreement that these things exist. There are many universes and there are space to imagine, build them and perceive them, which existing concurrently within its own continuum. Footnote 226. Each universe is creating using its own unique set of rules, as imagined, altered, preserved, or destroyed, but one or more is best who created. Time, energy, object, and space, as defined in terms of the physical universe, may or may not exist in other universes. The domain exists in such a universe as well as in the physical universe. One of the rules of the physical universe is that energy can be created but not destroyed, so the universe will keep expanding as long as we keep adding more new energy into it. It is nearly infinite. It is like an automobile assembly line that never stops running, and none of the cars are ever destroyed. Every SB is basically good. Therefore, NSB does not enjoy doing things to other SBs which they themselves do not want to experience. For an SB, there is no inherent standard for that is good or bad, right or wrong, ugly or beautiful. These ideas are based in the opinion of each individual SB. The closest concept that human beings have to describe an SB is as a god, all knowing, all powerful, infinite. So, how does a god stop being a god? They pretend not to know. How can you play a game of hide and seek if you always know where the other person is hiding? You pretend not to know where the other players are hiding, so you can go off to seek them. This is how games are created. You have forgotten that you are just pretending. In so doing, it's become entrapped and slave inside a maze of their own devising. How does one create a cage? Look one's own self inside the cage, throw away the key, and forget there is a key or a cage, and forget there is an inside or outside, and even forget there is a self. Create the illusion that there is no illusion. The entire universe is real, and though no other universe exists or can be created. On Earth, the propaganda taught and agreed upon is that the gods are responsible and that human beings are not responsible. You are taught that only a god can create universes, and the responsibility for every action is assigned to another is be or god, never oneself. No human being ever assumes personal responsibility for the fact that they themselves, individually and collectively, are gods. This fact alone is the source of entrapment for every is being.